So we're going to use WinExe, my modified WinExe, with the administrator username and password hash for the demo domain to log into the domain controller at 172.16.1.1. Specify the user with demo/administrator %, the domain hash / 172.16.1.1 and command.exe. We do a who am I on the Windows box. We see that we're logged in as the administrator for the demo domain, and we can verify with ipconfig that we logged into 172.16.1.1. This is a 32-bit Windows 2008 system. We're going to log into a 64-bit Windows 2008 system on 1.5 with the -- system to give us the NT authority / system privileges and run ipconfig and see that once again we're logged in correctly to 172.16.1.1. WinExe supports 32 and 64-bit OSs. So now we're going to demonstrate the use of passing the hash tools with FreeTDS. So first thing is this FreeTDS requires a configuration file. So you set the configuration file. For this case, the profile is MSSQL and the host is 172.16.1.5. So we tell Squish to use the MSSQL profile, log into the master database. The username is demo //MSSQL. Then the password hash is put in for the password. And I deliberately went and changed the last character on that previous attempt to a B, change it back to an A, and you can see that we're now logged in to the SQL Server. So we're just going to do a few quick queries to kind of see what sort of information is here. We installed the AdventureWorks database from Microsoft just to give us some information to play with in a database. Genning up a whole bunch of fake data is kind of a pain in the ass. So we're going to select the AdventureWorks database, and we're going to run a few queries and drill down into it a little bit. So we run a query to find tables that have a column name that looks like credit card. And we see that the sales database has a credit card data field in it. So we then go select from the sales database. Oh, fat fingered that. That's not going to work. Let's try typing that again. So we can see that there's a whole bunch of data there for Superior Card, Vista, or Colonial Voice. So now we're going to select everything from the sales.credit card where the card type is equal to Vista, assuming I can type it correctly. And there we go. We've logged into an MSSQL database using hashes. So now we're going to use the modified version of Firefox to pass the hash for NTLM web authentication. Created a separate pass the hash profile for Firefox to allow me to disable all of the add-ons. First thing you do is you go into about:config, click by the scary warning, and search for NTLM. You need to make sure network.auth.force generic NTLM is set to true. This forces Firefox to use the internal NTLM implementation, which is the one that we poisoned. Go to the intranet page, type in our user, in this case alice.jones. Find Alice's hash. And I added an add-on that lets you undot the password field, so you can see here in a moment that I'm not faking the funk on the password. You can see that I actually did put in the hash. Hit OK, and in a few seconds the intranet page comes up. And it shows that we logged in as alice.jones in the demo domain. Alice does not appear to have privileges to either of the search fields in SharePoint, so let's sign in as a different user. I'm going to log in as bob.franklin. Once again, go copy his hash out of our convenient hash dump. Copy it in for the password. Once again, show that we're using the hash and not a password. Hit reload a couple times to show that Bob Franklin shows up on the user page. And now, when you type A, Bob apparently can query the database using the form in SharePoint. So now we're going to sign out. And we're going to log into OA as the CEO to view the CEO's OA and see what it looks like. So once again, we use the password hash for ceo.boss. Copy and paste it in, show password, hit OK, and now we have access to Bob's or the CEO's OA. Go look at his contacts, look at his calendar, see that he has a massage with Charlene. That could be interesting. Buyout talks with Dr. Evil. Oh, he's going to try to find Bob's replacement at BlackHat. Bob might want to know about that. What do we got on Tuesday? Oh, dinner with Alice. That's chez moi. And Monday, oh, dinner with the wife. Ooh, that could be kind of awkward. Next, we're going to demonstrate how to use Pass the Hash with OpenChange, which is an open source Exchange plugin that allows us to access Exchange from Linux. First thing we have to do is we have to create a profile for MAPI, that's the Exchange protocol, for each one of the users that we're going to be logging in as. So, creating a profile for Alice in the demo.local domain, using her username as alice.jones, and we're going to query 172.16.1.5, which is the Exchange server. So we're going to create a profile for Bob in the same manner, using Bob's password hash. Copy, paste. And then the next one we're going to create is for the CEO. Basically the exact same command. We're going to create a profile for CEO. Use ceo.boss, which is his username. Grab his password hash. Note that our password hash functionality here can take either lm:/nt or ln:/nt and then 3 colons afterwards, which is the fgdump format. So we've created all 3 profiles. So now we can run the OpenChange client using Alice's profile, pardon me, and we are going to create send an email to the CEO from the command line. So we send it and we give it the title command line test with OpenChange, and we send the main body as hello to the CEO from the command line. And the mail has now been successfully sent. We send another email as the CEO to Bob with the subject hello from the command line, Bob, and the body, la 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 la. Alright, that message has been sent. So now we use the command exchange to mbox to dump Bob's profile into a mailbox in the mail directory called Bob. Do the same thing for Alice. And finally the same thing for the CEO. Now once they're in that folder, we can go into our favorite mail reader, in which case I'm using Alpine, and we can walk through each one of the messages and see the hello. Ooh, Bob's trying to embezzle funds with Alice. That's interesting. And we've got the demo there. Ooh, Hot Lips. Nice MASH reference there. And the CEO is trying to sell the company to Dr. Evil. Now here we're using a simple WMI query that takes the username and hash to give us a process listing of what's running on the computer. And then we're using a modified utility that was included in the WMI distribution to blindly execute command.exe on the same system and do a directory of the C drive and save it to Windows temp o.txt. And now we're using SMBget to grab the results of the redirected command, and we can see there the results of the dir C:. This is blind command execution using WMI and passing the hash.